Hello, everyone. My name is Jenna Scalzetti, and I am the Associate Director of Communications with Boundless Life Sciences Group. May is Friedreich's Ataxia Awareness Month, and Saturday, May 17th, is FA Awareness Day. FA is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder that impacts over 15,000 people worldwide. To help raise further awareness and honor those living with FA along with their caregivers, I'm so thrilled to be talking to a recognized influencer and FA community leader, Matt Lafleur, along with Francesco Lucarelli, partner and CCO of Boundless. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Matt, it's an honor, man. I'm always honored to be with you.
Yeah,
And obviously being FA Awareness Day coming up. I mean, I'm really interested in what's led you to take such an active role in the FA community.
that's a good question, man. I think since my diagnosis, I was a young kid. I was about 10 years old. I think I was 9. My sister was even younger than that. But we were the only two ones facing Friedreich's ataxia. It was a word we never heard of. All we knew was that it was affecting our balance and coordination, and it would only get worse because at that time there was no treatment for it. So in ways we were just taking a backseat to FA. FA was this overarching theme that we didn't really know much about, but that was making life incredibly difficult for us. So I remember being in school and seeing my classmates come to school with a walking cast and a cast on their foot and walking crutches and thinking that, man, I am so jealous of them because they would get better from this. Their walking would improve, and one day the cast would come along. But for me and for my sister with FA, I thought that we were only going to get worse and there was nothing we could do about it. So that was my mindset for a long time. It wasn't until many years later that I decided, all right, I'm dealing with this. Let me look and see if there are other people around the world dealing with it. And surprisingly, there were a lot of other. So in that moment, I decided that I was going to change my mindset. Instead of keeping all of my struggles to myself and not talking about it, I was going to try to share it with the world and make others feel less alone, less isolated with this. And that was groundbreaking. That was absolutely incredible. I am so happy to do that. So that is the heart of why I became involved in advocacy because through that other people throughout the world may look at what I'm going through, what I'm sharing about, and saying, oh man, you too? I thought I was the only one dealing with that. And I think that's really powerful. And also, I think that is the beginning of hope. That's the beginning of hope. And hope is something so pivotal. I think we couldn't do this. We couldn't live with the progressive disorder without hope, without light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that by letting others feel less alone, that is the beginning of what hope can be, what hope looks like. So I am happy to share my story in whatever I can, and I hope that it reaches others who may feel totally isolated and let them know that they are not alone and that there is light at the end of the tunnel for them and for me.
I mean, Matt, obviously this is, personally I've gotten to know you and to me it's tremendous, but looking and listening to what you just said, I mean, it's so inspirational to others as you alluded to, going from that ability to kind of go from a sense of early on, feeling jealous to then materializing this into something that's ultimately a message of hope. I mean, that's amazing in all the advocacy work that you do. I mean, you have a column, you work with Farah, you're at live events, you travel all over the place. I wonder if there's anything that like you don't do, but also, I mean, what have you found to be like personally the most rewarding element of your advocacy efforts?
When you say the word inspirational, I like that as a side effect of what I'm doing, but that isn't the goal. My goal is not to be up here and inspire people because so for me personally, when I am in touch with somebody who may be living across the country or across the world, when they see themselves in what I've written about or in a video I was a part of, and they are able to say that they see themselves in that, that is so rewarding for me. That is the cream of why I do what I do.
Well, again, I know you don't like the word inspiration, but even as you just define that, I mean, that is inspirational to others. So you be proud of that, man. Be proud of that. It also brings me to, you mentioned early about, you and your sister both being diagnosed, but, I know you guys and you both have taken very different paths. So tell me a little, or tell our audience a little bit about those different paths that you guys have taken.
Sure, it's really inspiring to me how we both have taken different avenues of life, and we're both well, we're both doing well, killing it. I want to say, but I don't know if I'm killing it. I'm trying to. But she is a mother of three children, so she is doing the home life, and that is incredible to witness and be a part of. And I freaking love my niece and nephew. So can't imagine life without them, and that's amazing to me that FA doesn't prevent her from being heroic in that way. And that's inspiring. Whereas I'm living a single life and I'm kind of throwing myself into the advocacy work and raising awareness about it. So that is where I am. Not what I thought success would look like for me when I was a little kid. But even though the goalposts have shifted, I think that success for me and for my sister is so realistic and so inspiring. And that is something that will not change no matter what your diagnosis is. There will be success that you can look forward to.
I consider myself extremely fortunate because I've had the chance to meet your family, spend time with your family. Your family is amazing. Tell your mom I can't wait to come back for dinner. But all kidding aside, I mean, I know your family is involved in your care, and what can you share with others about, the importance of having kind of that community and family involvement as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very fortunate that my family is so involved uh, with me and my sister's caregiving. My parents are able to provide support for me in dealing with caregivers and making my house more accessible, which is key to what FA has done to me and what would make my days easier. So I'm so grateful to have both of them in my corner and also to know that they're there if and when things get overwhelming and when things get frustrating. I know that I have the support of my parent, people I can go to. So hopefully that will be other people's parents, but if not, there is a community out there that they can look forward to, that they can lean on.
So given that this is kind of FA Awareness Month, right? And obviously Friedrich's Awareness Day coming up, you know, is that your most important message that you want people to understand, that there is support out there, that there are others, that you're not alone?
Absolutely, man. Friedrich's ataxia can be totally isolating in one lens, but I think there is an increasing awareness going on about what FA is and what it looks like, and I think that is fuel for knowing for other people, acknowledging that it exists, that people in their lives may be suffering from what it is, what it looks like, and to know that that isn't the end of the story. That you're diagnosed with FA can seem, it seemed to me like it was the end of my journey, that all hope ended there. But it doesn't end there. With we have one treatment, we have more treatments coming, and eventually on the horizon there will be a cure. One day, I hope I live to see it. But regardless, there's reason to keep going. So no matter what you're going through in life, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Again, that's an awesome message of not only hope, but I'm going to say it again. I know you don't like hearing it, but it is inspirational. So I can't get that out of my head, man. Um, to another area though, in around, kind of the awareness and like you said, wanting to get people to understand that, there is a community there and there is support there. Um, Look, we've hung out. I've seen you out in Louisiana. You're like the mayor. Everybody knows you everywhere we go. Matt, Matt, Matt. Like you can't go two stop signs without people stopping you. But I'm curious, like, do people talk to you about FA? Do they ask you questions about it? And what is like the biggest misperception that you would want people to really, to understand more?
Sure, that's super interesting because I think that gets a mindset shift that I want to see happen. Typically, people view FA, Friedrich's ataxia, as a burden, as something you shouldn't talk about unless you are experiencing it. Um, which I can see where they're coming from in that mindset. They don't want to focus on the negative, and I respect that. However, that is not the complete picture. Whereas we should be open, we should be curious about, hey, what are you going through? Not because I wanna study you, but just because I care. I wanna know. So I think that FA talking about FA is a lot of times avoided by people who don't experience it at all. But I think if we had a mind shift change of the entire community, that hey, if you're going through something that I'm not, but let me know what that looks like for you. Let me know how I can best support you, how I can be your friend, be your neighbor, be your boss, be your coworker. With whatever you need, let me help you with that. And I think that will normalize it because FA is something, if you look at me, you'll think, man, that's a pretty disabled guy, with speech, with coordination, with things like that, being in a wheelchair and whatnot. A lot of times people may not want to talk to me because of that.
And what you're saying, Matt, feels like such a refreshing perspective because you said earlier that, isolation can be one of the that early elements that FA can make you maybe believe or feel. And so it sounds like, kind of breaking down that hesitation or stigma of talking about it can obviously improve upon the sense of isolation too. Is that fair?
Absolutely. I think that breaking down isolation, like you talked about, I think that's key. And that could be the theme of what I am trying to do with my advocacy. Because FA is an isolating condition. FA can make you feel all alone often. And I want people to know that they're not all alone, that there is a community, a supportive community out there.
And that's such an awesome message of support and community. So I applaud you for that, as does your peers. Let me ask you this, you've been, a pretty outspoken advocate, you're a recognizable figure, whether you want to know that or not, or acknowledge that or not. Um, But given that, here's my mystery sort of time machine question. What would Matt today go back in time and tell Matt at diagnosis? Like what is that wisdom words that you wish you could go back and tell yourself?
I would let myself know that the journey will be challenging, so I would accept that. But I would also let myself know that that story does not end there. Because for a long time I thought that things were difficult and things were going to just be more difficult every day. Um I wouldn't have believed that FA could lead me to some amazing connections like with you. I don't think I know you without FA, Francesco. That is something that FA, this horrible, disgusting condition, brought to me. So the fact that FA is totally terrible, but from it, it can bring connections and strength that I wouldn't have dreamed of.
I love that positivity, man. I mean, it is just so strong to hear. And as you said, the story isn't over. And what a great message to tell to people that are just getting diagnosed, right? Letting them know that their stories aren't over. There's more to come. Obviously, your story is far from over. I'm excited to watch what you keep doing and what you continue to help share and change other lives out there. Given that, what are if you're thinking about what's coming up, what are you most hopeful for in the FA community in the next few years?
In the next few years, of course, in the scientific world, treatments, even like the C word a cure would be absolutely incredible. That is a goal. But in the meantime, what we're talking about, the mind shift and the community awareness, I think that is key. That people may not feel so alone when they were diagnosed with the FA. With that diagnosis comes strength. It comes this amazing community that you can be a part of. I have to shout out the Friedrichs Ataxia Research Alliance, FARA, at curefa.org, and Friedrichs Ataxia News, which is friedrichsataxianews.com. Um, they are awesome avenues of ways to get involved with the community, and I think that is key. So,
Well, Matt, last question for you, and it's also a timely one. The NFL draft is coming up, so obviously, I know you've got a side gig as the coach of the Green Bay Packers. Is that right? I mean,
absolutely,
I've seen.
absolutely. Go
Have you
back.
have you has that Matt Lafleur reached out to the real Matt Lafleur yet?
Haven't heard from you yet, but fingers crossed.
All right. Well, everybody watching this, we're going to put this out there. If there's a connection into the Green Bay Packers, let's get that guy to talk to the real Matt LaFleur here because I think that's most important. But
The real message. I like it.
hey,
Uh,
Matt, man, I appreciate you making time to do this. It's just great to talk to you as always. I love you, brother, and keep getting the word out there. As you said, let's change some minds and change some perceptions.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you for helping. I love you too, man. Thank you for allowing me to do this.
Always, buddy. Always be good, man. I love you.